Hello, everybody. This is Coach Lou, and we are here with Team Believe and Team Infinite. We are doing a really spectacular call. This is a special call that's going to help everyone with regard to making daily connections with people. And it's all about supplying the bloodline to what we do as coaches. It's so important that we understand that it's what we do to communicate with people that, basically draws them towards us. Nicole and I are going to share some great tips about how to do this. And Nicole, I'm going to let you take it away. And here we go. Okay.
I know a bunch of us are in the Empire Diamond Run, and that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight is because of the Empire Diamond Run. One of the posts is it's basically, and I saw Dawn and I went to Super Saturday last weekend, and Barbie was there, and she gave that secret sauce. And what is that secret sauce to being a successful coach? It's reaching out to three new people a day, following up with 3 people a day, and then just checking in with 3 people a day that you previously connected with. If you're pushing for a diamond, it really should be 5 people a day. So yesterday, I connected with, I'm pushing for a diamond for my husband. I'm building my husband to diamond. So yesterday, I spoke to 10 new people. The way I go about bringing people in is through Facebook ads for free groups, and then I connect with people in the free groups. But that's something that could be very overwhelming, Facebook ads, if you don't know how to run them. The way I built my business for the first 2 years, though, was, and Dawn is really good at this. So maybe, Dawn, you want to talk a little? Dawn's really, really good at this. Dawn's pushing for a diamond as well, is going into other groups of Facebook groups. We're going onto like pages of common interests that you share outside of health and fitness, outside of Beachbody. So the first 2 years, I was training for Disney, Run Disney. I did 2 half marathons and a full marathon. So I was part of a lot of Run Disney groups. I still am. I'm a part of a lot of running groups, a lot of running for women. Yes, that's health and fitness, but running, if you're a runner, it's a very different mentality than doing an at-home workout. So a lot of my coaches in the beginning were runners. I'm a huge Disney person. My family we're in Disney at least once a year, sometimes twice. And I'm in a lot of Disney groups. I'm in teacher groups. I'm a teacher. So it's really about going into groups that relate to you outside of health and fitness. And one of the ways you could do that is really thinking about who is your ideal customer. Your ideal customer is you. Your ideal customer is just like you. That saying, like attracts like, and that really is so true. Now, I'm connecting with teachers, and my team and my challenge groups now are filled with teacher moms, because that's who I am. I'm a teacher mom, and I'm connecting with women who are just like me. So like I said, Dawn, she does a fabulous group. Like, she does a great job of connecting with people and building that relationship in groups outside of, her comfort zone, outside of health and fitness. So I don't know, Dawn, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you want to share a little of how you do it, what you do?
I just go into groups and I search, like I have 3 boys. So I go into boys or teenagers, or I like to read. So there's a lot of different book groups. And there's some that are pretty crazy. If you like to read, I just searched one, and there's one with like half naked men. And these women are nuts. And I was like, oh, okay, like there's a lot of crazy groups out there. And I just, my husband's in the military, so I search like Air Force wives, or I just put in, and now, like you said with the Facebook, I started searching and they change it all the time. So it is hard to search through that. Like I always try to do friends of friends and people in my area, so that if I go in and I like Charlotte, I have no idea. Maybe we have 1 or 2 mutual friends now. But if I went to friend you and we have no mutual friends, you think I was a crazy stalker, right? That's what I think. If people friend me, I'm like, I don't know them. I don't have any mutual friends. So that's another thing, is to just search through there. A friend who likes yoga. That's what I tried yesterday, but I didn't really get it. I don't know. It's hard. But that's what I do, is just go into different groups that have something to do with me. And I just comment on something that someone wrote, and then they comment back, and then I'll friend request, because at least we had a little conversation and see where that goes.
Yeah, and I like what you said, it's not, you don't want to be like, don't think that you're stalking people. I mean, I go into these groups and I genuinely have made some amazing connections with people over the past 2 years. And in one of my Run Disney groups, I met a woman who, she works for Disney. We connected, and she met me out on the marathon course. She's the general manager of the Grand Floridian in Walt Disney World. She met me out on the course. She literally, I remember it was like mile 6, and she held me up and told me to keep going. And she's added so much to my life. And now I'm going, and I'm going to see her again. I'm going to see her again the next time I'm down there. So, you really, truly, it's all about connecting with people. When you make these connections with people, Julia, please go down. Sorry, Julia's being disruptive.
Hi, Julia.
I don't know where the markers are, Julia. So, close the door. Okay, close the door. I couldn't say this because she was here, but when we go in May, my husband and I, she hooked us up with a room at the Grand Floridian. So you never know when you're going to meet people who just add to your life. And it really is about making a connection and building a relationship. And those people, if you take the time to build the relationship, it's really cool, because down the road, they're the ones that become your lifers, and they're the ones that are going to stick with you no matter what. And I have some customers who have become such good friends and have been with me this whole time because I took the time to form the relationship. So just finding something, there's that, there's an exercise you could do where you create your avatar. You create that person who is just like you. And that helps. Where do they hang out? Where do they go on social media? Where do they go on Facebook? And where do you go on Facebook? Where do you go in social media? And make it a goal, every day to connect with maybe 10 new people in these groups. Like something that they post. And then when you comment, and this is a really good tip, and this helped me, and Dawn does this, when you comment, always ask a question so you can continue the conversation. So that's how I built my business the first 2 years of coaching. And that's how Dawn has built her business. And, it's all about the relationships. The only difference between the people on stage at Summit speaking and the people who aren't are the number of connections they make and the number of relationships that they form. And it's just a matter of finding those people. So, Lou, did you want to add anything?
I sure do. Let me tell you a little bit about the way I find people, and I'll kind of give you like a little bit of a history on how I used to do it, because I find I have to keep adapting to whenever social media changes. When I first became a coach, I was big on fan pages, and the fan pages back then, you were pretty much in a shark pool of coaches, if you will. But I would just disregard any other coaches. I would just focus on helping people, and I learned something really, really useful as far as I was concerned. Whenever I saw somebody in a fan page that needed help and had a question, I would always just focus on the person. I'm going to mute everybody. Okay, I would focus on the person. I would help them. I would disregard any other coaches that were sharking in and trying to take that person away from me. And I would give them really useful answers, but I would reply in such a way that when other people were scrolling the fan pages, they would also see what I had written. And there were many times where maybe the person I was helping ended up not coming to me because it turned out they had a coach or something. But somebody else would message me and they would say, you know, hey, Lou, I saw that reply that you gave to that guy named Paul and how you helped him. And I really like what you said. Would you be interested in helping me? So whenever I do anything with coaching, I don't just do it as a singular act. I try and focus on how what I'm doing is going to resonate in the direction of anyone that sees what I'm doing. And Nicole, like you said, going to any fan pages, that's really useful. And we've all maybe made this mistake where you go into a fan page and you shoot your cannon off and you start, you know, maybe rambling on and on and on and having a heated argument with somebody over gluten-free this or that. And, you know, you come off like a hard-knob coach and people just kind of maybe attack you or whatever. But fortunately, that really doesn't ever happen to me. When I go into a fan page, I try to be respectful of the page's content and I don't cross the wires and I kind of ease my way in slowly. And I'll give you an example. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea this year, which basically stinks. And with sleep apnea, you have to wear a CPAP mask at night when you go to bed, which is the biggest turn on in the world to any woman, I'm sure. So anyway, fortunately, as you get more in shape, that likelihood of needing that goes away. But here's the point. I found a couple of CPAP pages and CPAP groups. And I'm like a rock star in these groups because I go into these groups and I find all these people that are kind of borderline depressed. And I started doing fun things. I started posting pictures of myself with my mask, with the picture of Bane from Batman. I told everyone around Halloween to post a picture of what they think they would look like. And some people put like a picture of the alien wrapped around their face from the movie Aliens. Another person put Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. So I kind of turned it into a fun thing. And here's what works so great. It gets to the point where people start friend requesting me. They start coming to me. I don't have to friend request them. They just start showing up in my friend request box. And I remember, you know, messaging someone. I was like, oh, where did we hook up initially? She goes, oh, I'm in the sleep apnea machine. You seem like a really nice person. And that's what I want to hear. So here's the real secret sauce to what I find to be the most useful. If I can get someone on my friend list, that takes them to a whole world that I control. It's my personal page. I can say or do whatever I want on my personal page. And what I do that's different than what you see a lot of other people do, and I know many of you actually do this good thing too, is I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about heated subjects. I don't talk about controversial things. If something bad happens on the news, I offer some sympathy, but my page is a place where people go to get a good laugh, to get inspired, to get motivated. I've had people message me and tell me that because of them, I changed their life. And I'm like, how did I do that? It's just, my page is a very inspiring place. And I really do speak that way honestly. And people come to me and they see that I'm a fairly normal, nutty person. They know that I'm a coach because I'm constantly talking about my fitness lifestyle. But I learned from, let's go back to Bobby Decker. I learned from her early on that on your fan page, on your personal page, your profile page, you want to just sort of like make only a third of your posts or less about Beachbody, because otherwise you're going to seem like a robot. And the rest of the posts can be about things that are special to you. It can be about what you do for a living. It can be about your kids. It can be about your pets. Charlotte, you're a great example. Every time I see you post, you're posting like pictures of farm animals and things, and they're so funny. And you have like a romantic date with your husband, and you guys are bow hunting in the dark. It's like really interesting stuff. And Paul, you're another one. I always see you posting about things you're doing with your kids, and you know, like your love for your mom. I've never seen anybody like have this kind of great, special, big place in their heart like you. And Dawn, I'm going to be watching you. I know I don't know you too long, but I'm going to be like trolling your wall to see what you're up to. And Nicole, you're like a great teacher. You're a great person, and you're very inspiring. So we're all kind of doing the right thing. But, okay, so that's the secret sauce. I make my personal page a place where people will be inspired, will be motivated, where they'll feel comfortable, where if I can say to them, hey, listen, why don't you get the Core Day Force Challenge Pack? They're not going to freak out because they've talked to me many times. They know me. They live in my house. They come to my personal page. Now, here's a mistake that you must avoid. This is a very important thing that you have to do. This is the way Facebook works. Facebook uses something called algorithms. Maybe I said that word wrong. I hope not. You guys are teachers. Correct me. Okay? Here's the thing. In order for your post to be seen in people's news feeds, you have to be going to other people's personal pages and liking things and replying and doing things that involve interacting with those people, because then you will appear in their news feed. Now, do a test later on, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that you find like somebody who you didn't know was on your friends list, and you just like stumble upon them and they have a picture of something and you click like, and then later on that day they did the same thing for something on your page? That's because you now appeared in their newsfeed. That's what Facebook does. It connects the dots. So I see so many coaches posting the most incredible things, the awesome posts and quotes, and I'm looking at it, and all I see are other coaches replying and posting like. And I'm thinking, that's really good. We're all a brotherhood of sisters and brothers. But if you want to build your business, you really need to attract people who aren't coaches. You need to go find the ones that aren't coaches. And Nicole, like you said, finding new people is a great way to do it. Now, let me just go over a couple of things. If you can get people comfortable around you, and you now have them on your friends list, and you're every so often looking on their wall and just liking things and clicking things and making some positive comments, not only are those people going to see you in their newsfeed, and not only are those people going to come to your personal page and want to dialogue with you some more and become those exposures that you're creating, but because you've been posting and replying on their page, and because maybe your profile picture was something remotely fitness related instead of like a cartoon of, I don't know, Underdog or something, their friends are going to see you liking that person's stuff and saying things, and their friends are going to start potentially looking out to come to you too. And that happens to me a lot. I get friend requests from Nicole, like you're saying, and Dawn, like you're saying. You go find people who are the friends of the friends you have. I make it a little bit easier for me by getting those people to want to come to me. So the things I just said, I kind of learned from Josh Spencer because I was in a special coach training group for him that he ran in the late summer. It was about branding yourself. And he said something that really hit me in the head like a hammer. A lot of us have the problem where we're constantly trying to find people, and I've even told coaches like that. I've often told many coaches, and you guys can quote me, I have said, you got to keep finding people. You got to keep finding people. It's so, I was wrong. It's not that you have to keep finding people. It's that you have to keep creating ways for people to find you. You have to create ways for people to notice you. You have to brand yourself. Branding yourself isn't just like what Nicole said, meaning making your avatar and making something that other people will feel they should grow towards, like and so on. Branding yourself is also about creating a venue for other people to come find you. And I often think of this analogy. Have you ever noticed that, like, if you go fishing, you ever go fishing and you catch like maybe 2 or 3 fish in a day, and that's all great, but imagine if you, instead of fishing with a hook and line, if you just took a big net and cast it in the river and spread it out, and then at the end of the day you came back and you pulled that net in. It's going to be filled with fish. So that's the way I like to look for people. I like to go and I like to create a combination of bouncing back and forth between my like pages and my profile page and getting other people. This is the bigger thing for me. It's getting other people to like the quality of what I'm posting. I want to quote Josh one more time. Josh said that you have to give people something of value in order for them to want to follow you. And Nicole, you are a great example of this. You had a coach sneak peek, and you were offering like a coupon for some free coffee because you wanted people to feel like you were having coffee together. And this was something of value that you were giving to people. So in a different way, something of value that you give to people is in the form of motivation. It's in the form of some wisdom. It's in the form of some kind of comfort. It's something that you're saying that makes those people feel that they have a better day. And as a result of that, they want to grow towards you. They want to keep following you. And then it just becomes natural when you start talking about having a challenge group or a clean eating group or a crockpot group. They're like, yeah, I want to do it. I've had people message me, what do I have to do to order something so you get the credit? And I want to cry when I hear that because I love the feeling that I didn't have to push that. It just kind of happened naturally. Nicole, I'm going to I'm hogging up the call here, so I'm going to turn the mic back to you. I'll unmute you. I had some feedback on you before, but what else would you like to add as far as what we've been talking about with tonight's topic? Did I unmute you? I think she's Nicole. What did I didn't do that. Nicole, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know. All of a sudden, I was gone.
Oh, okay. You wanna? I'll pass the microphone to you, and you could talk a little more about what we were talking about, or.
I think it all just comes down to consistency. Consistently doing your posts, like you said, a third of it being Beachbody, sharing who you are, sharing your story, and consistently reaching out to those new people every single day. And if you're doing that, then it creates that momentum. And after, and it just becomes, and once the momentum's created, you're going to build that following and people bring to you.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely great advice. That's really true.
My whole thing just froze.
Oh, okay. I see you okay on my end. You know what I want to add? I think it's very important too that if you are, once you accept the fact that you have to try to create at least 3 new exposures a day, at least reach out to 3, if not 5 or more people a day, you have to be consistent. You can't just do it once in a while. Even I'm guilty of not doing it as much as I should. And I could use every excuse in the world. I was too busy for work. I was but the thing is, I have found that my best growth spurts as a coach, where I grew my team the biggest, or where I had the greatest likelihood that people were interested in coaching, was really through constantly adding new people to my groups after they had made me their coach, after they had embraced that, and backpedaling. It all came down to me creating as many exposures with people, establishing new relationships with people as possible. And we've all heard the 80-20 rule. Does everybody know what the 80-20 rule is? Can I get a show of hands? Okay. Paul, how about you? You know what the 80-20 rule is?
I think so.
I'm sorry?
Is that 80% your post is supposed to be about you and only 20% about like Beachbody stuff?
No. That's I'll explain. The 80-20 rule is something Dale Carnegie talks a lot about, and also Jim Rohn. It's basically a little like secret mechanism in the universe of life that if you look back on anything you do, it seems like 80% of the people that you might be talking to, let's keep it in the context of coaching, 80% of the people you reach out to will probably not be interested, but the other 20% will. 80% of those people who you reach out to who are interested in you are probably not going to want to order something, but the other 20% will. 80% of that 20% of people who were probably interested in coaching may not want to do it, but 20% of those people will. So here's the thing. If you talk to 2 people a day, let's just keep it simple for a second, and that's creeping on 660 people or more a year. If 80% of those people weren't interested in coaching or weren't interested in doing anything with you, and the other 20% were, do the math. Look at how many people actually would still be interested. 20% of close to 660 people. That's what? That's 20, 40, 60. We're creeping on like 130 people or so that joined your team that year. Or maybe most of those people wanted to order things and some of them became coaches. And that's only if you reached out to 2 people a day. Imagine doing what Nicole is saying, which is what we had learned through Barbie, reaching out to 3 or more. And you've seen even my coach, our coach, Chris Baumer, say he reaches out to 10 people a day. 10 people a day after a year. Wow, that would really be a ton of people. And it's not that you're signing up 10 new clients a day in your group. You're just reaching out to 10 new people. And if you really think about it, you can make it happen. You have to be resourceful with your time. If we all have heard about the Power Hour, and some of us do follow that, some of us don't. And I will personally say that if you had only time to do a few things during the day and you didn't even have a full hour, I would spend that time. And I'm not talking about the time to exercise. I'm talking about the time like you invest in doing anything related to coaching. I would spend that time growing new relationships with people. That would be the best way to keep the blood flow going into your group. It's I think it's so important to keep telling yourself that, because let's face it, I'll use my group as an example. I have like 520 people in the resistance, but if you look at it in any given day, there's really only about 30 people or so who are posting consistently. The rest of them have gone off to other things. Maybe they grew silent for whatever reason. Maybe some of them are going through divorce. Some of them have had life-changing events. Some of them have changed jobs. But at the end of the day, the whole group isn't going to be as involved as I would like them to be. And there are so many times when I see a coach that has a small group of people and that coach doesn't really grow that team. He just keeps them at that lucky 30. After a while, those 30 people are going to dissipate. They're going to back away from the workouts for whatever reason. Not everyone wants to do things the way we're doing them. Some of them are going to jump ship and want to go to CrossFit. Others are going to want to just, run all day long or whatever. But it's so important to keep looking for new people. And you don't like make yourself believe that you can only do it on fan pages that have to do with Beachbody products, because that's really a tough thing to do. Like Nicole said, you should go find pages, go look on Instagram, go on LinkedIn, and even go on YouTube and find things that have to do with topics that interest you. I'm going to use Charlotte as an example again. Charlotte, every time I look at you, you have this like carload of kids, all happy and gappy, and you're going on trips and you're doing these amazing things. And I'm like, wow, where are they going now? And you're like a great teacher, and you're always taking these groups of kids, I guess, on field trips and different things like that. If I were like in that situation, I would try to find other pages or groups that maybe have to do with like that kind of interaction between parents and young adults or something like that. And I could say the same for you too, Paul. Actually, Dawn, are you a teacher too? What do you do for a living?
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
I buy and sell plastic scrap.
That was my next guess. So, no, I'm kidding. Okay, that's really interesting. So we got 3 teachers on the call. You buy and sell plastic scrap, you said, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever done something? Have you ever found? Have you challenged yourself to see if that's something that is a possible outlook for you to look for people that deal with that too? Or like how have you used your field in any way to grow in the direction of what you do as a coach?
I have not. I feel like I know a lot of people that I deal with, mainly they're in the South. They're older and they work in warehouses. Most of the people that I talk to, because I mainly buy it. I don't really sell too much, and most of it is men.
Most of it is what?
Most of it is older men
Oh,
from the
okay.
South. I could try. That's a good idea.
Okay. I'm gonna like use you for a bit and put you on the spotlight. What are some other things about you that you like? Like, what are you interested in also besides like what I know about you from Beachbody and the great transformation that you had? Like, what are some things you like to do for fun?
I like going to Zumba. I like reading. I like music. The kids and I play games a lot. We play cards. Um,
Do you play music too, or you like listening to music?
no, I just like listening to it.
What kind of
I don't
music?
have any musical talents. I'm very tone deaf.
Uh,
Um,
what kind of music do you listen to?
everything.
Rap music?
Oh, okay, not everything.
I'm teasing. I always say rap music when someone says they listen to everything. But have you gone to like pages for like groups that you like and like bands that you like or
No,
something?
I should do that though. That's a good idea.
You see, that's something I do. Anybody that knows me, I'm besides Paul, I'm one of the world's biggest Peter Cetera fans. No, Paul is not. Um, this is a funny story. Paul actually knew a person. Paul doesn't live far from me. We're really close to each other. And I took a really nice woman out last summer who turned out to be someone that works with Paul. And when Paul found out where I was taking her to see Peter Cetera, Paul almost quit coaching. It was bad. So, but here's the thing. I'm in the Peter Cetera fan group. Everyone, you're all welcome to join if you want. I'll add you later. But here's the thing. That's a group filled with people who are crazy like me for the music of Chicago and Peter Cetera. All right? Now, Paul, you listen to Dave Matthews, right? That's your big thing?
A little bit.
Okay. What do you like to listen to?
No, that's what I listen to.
Oh, okay. A little, you're joking. But, all right.
A little bit sarcastically.
Dawn, going back to you. If I were in your shoes, and I'm not using you like to tell you what to do, I'm just using you as an example.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I would go and I would find fan pages. Nowadays there's like 3 or 4 fan pages or more for any different music act, which is crazy. And you can find a group for them too. LaShawn, one of my coaches, she and I are big Walking Dead fans too. I don't know if anyone likes that show. We're in a Walking Dead group, and we're constantly finding people who want to reach out to us and kind of maybe tap into this too. But what kind of games do you play with your kids? Like when you say games, did you mean like board games, or what did you mean?
We play board games. We play card games. We
What?
play sometimes video games. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, what
I like-
kind of video games? Like Xbox and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. You could, yeah, obviously you could go to fan pages for Xbox games.
Yep.
There's something for everyone. You could have the weirdest, most obscure hobby or interest, and there'll be a fan page for it. And
I love ladybugs.
Ladybug.
And I looked at that, and there are ladybug fan groups. It's kind of weird, but I like them like to collect things. Like, I don't know if you could see or not. My mom always buys me ladybug things. So there's ladybugs here, there's ladybugs here. It's kind of creepy, but I don't like the real ones. But there are a lot of people that do collect things. And I collect willow trees. That's another thing. A lot of people like those, and like precious moments. So there are some other things I could look for. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you post about that on your personal wall ever? Like, do you get?
I did when, like, our last anniversary, my husband got me a new willow tree. So do you know what those are?
No.
They're like, hold on, I'll show you.
Okay.
They're like little figures. Hold on, I'm going there. It's gonna get dark for a sec.
I'm thinking Groot from.
Because I'm gonna show them willow trees. Okay. Can you see these? Do you know what they are?
Oh, is that made from? Oh, okay.
They're wood. And like one is me and my husband, one's me and my hands over the head.
Those are
There's
really
one
nice.
like
That's
a
a perfect
husband.
example of something you could talk about on your personal wall that would spark interest with people. And
I did put that once, and there were a lot of people that were like, "Oh my God, I love them. I have so many of them." And I like sunflowers, and people are like, "Oh, that's my favorite flower." So I never really, I put it on my page and people commented, but I never really looked like in a group for it or anything.
now, what made you do it just once and not do it again? Was it just like it didn't trigger or anything like that, or?
Well, on my regular Facebook page, these are all like most of them were my friends. So they said that they liked it but it wasn't really like I never did it on my like page where it's not private or went into a group and wrote about it and got new people. These are all like Nicole says, my warm market. So my friends and my family and I don't know.
Okay. Have you added new friends since you've made that kind of a post? You must have, right? A few?
Yes.
Okay. You know what I find sometimes? Sometimes I'll make a post and it's almost like you ever make what you think is a really great post and then you come back later that day and nobody clicked like, nobody said a word. And you're like, oh, I gotta delete this. I must have offended someone. And it's, it's something about like roller skates or anything. I don't know. But the thing is, it's never that it was not necessarily something that people didn't like. Maybe the time of day that we made the post was off.
Exactly.
Maybe it goes back to what I said earlier, where we were not engaging other people enough for us to appear in their newsfeed. I don't know if this is still the case, but if you edit a post on Facebook, I was told that it decreases the likelihood that other people will be able to see it in the newsfeed because Facebook sees it as advertising.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's still true. Like, if I make a post and I see I misspelled one too many words, I will copy it and delete it and then post it corrected as opposed to editing it to make the corrections because I don't want it to be taken
I didn't know that.
from people. And I don't think this is the case, but they used to be concerned that you couldn't have too many words and like a visual element. I don't know if that's true anymore, but getting back to what I said earlier, I try to post things that people are interested in, and just Nicole, like what you said about what are we ourselves, who is our best person, our best customer, it's ourselves. I always look at myself and say, I'm a tough cookie to find in other people because I have so many interests. I almost have like too many interests, and I never could quite put a finger hold on what I actually do like the most. And some people might say, oh, it must be architecture. And it actually isn't. I find that the people I attract the most are like parents or people with kids. And I have you ever noticed that when you make a post with your children, you get
Yeah.
the most attention, you get the most likes? And Nicole and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Like Paul, you put a picture of your sons. I think it's your sons, right? Holding baseball bats or something. And
Drumsticks.
yeah, and Charlotte, your like little girl is absolutely adorable. And when you make posts that have your children, I don't mean that you should work them, make them part of what you're using, like, put them to work or something like that. I'm just saying, if you have a moment and you say to yourself, "That's a really nice picture. I think I'll share it on Facebook." It really does. It really does make a nice beat with people. It definitely connects with people in some way. I don't know if you guys know Jason Roberts. Jason and Katie Roberts are two parents. They're always posting things about how they try and be good parents and take care of their kids. And they post their kids running around in superhero suits around their pool. And even Chris Baumann. Have you guys ever seen Chris Baumann's post with his sons in his video?
Mm-hmm.
They're just so damn giddy, affectionate, and enjoyable. And that's what I feel is a real plus. I posted a picture the other day that I took my son for his road test, and he passed. And I got I got over 100 likes. And
Mhm.
what I'm doing is, whenever I get people liking and clicking and saying things about my page, I then go through those posts and I message those people, and I'll say something like, thank you very much. That was a really nice thing you said about my son, or I'll even say to someone, hey, listen, I saw you deleted a comment that you wrote. You didn't have to do that. It's okay if you tell me your opinion. I do something to get a spark going with conversation. And you know what is another great thing that I do that really helps me connect with people? Every day, Facebook gives you something. It's a gift, and it's your excuse for reaching out to people. It's called letting you know whose birthday it is today. If you take a second, and it's so easy, if you click on the icon, it'll list all the people whose birthdays there are, and you could just like make a post in each one's box, one by one by one by one. If you do that, and maybe take a little bit more attention and like maybe send a private message to a couple of people you've been talking to, you're going to really strike a good nerve with someone. There's a woman who is in my coach sneak peek, and it's her birthday tomorrow, and the coach who brought her in hasn't been able to hear back from her. I think that this would be a perfect way for her to ease into a conversation just by wishing this person a happy birthday. What are you doing for your birthday? Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I never did that before. I always want to do that, but it's just so true. Nicole, I'm going to unmute you again. Are you in like the bottom of the type?
Julia's coloring next to me.
Coloring?
Yeah.
With what? A jigsaw?
Just her markers on the, I don't know. Julia, stop.
It sounded like a wood chipper.
Oh, no, she's coloring.
It sounded like sleep apnea. It was no, but what else would you like to say? Like, what would be?
No, I think we covered everything. I think it's just about the consistency, having a plan of what you're going to do every day, going into those groups and just consistently reaching out to new people and reconnecting with people you have reached out to. And I think that's what it boils down to.
You know what? That is so awesome. That is so true. I think the underscoring tip that we're telling everyone is that it's not that you have to push products. It's not that you have to promote Beachbody. It's not that you have to drive it into people's minds to join your challenge groups. It is instead that you have to engage people on some level, get conversations going, get them comfortable with you. Because you need to be more than just a stranger on the other side of the internet to someone. If you can connect with people on some level, you can show sympathy when they're sad. If you can give praise when they do something good. It goes back to something I was taught that I think I said in the last call. It becomes really easy to then introduce someone to the idea of, kicking in with Core de Force or joining a 21-day fixed challenge group. It's, I would give all of us some homework. I would say, just try to reach out to people and just take it out of your mind for that moment that you're a Team Beachbody coach. Don't have like an ulterior motive to get people to come under you. Just reach out to them. Be genuinely interested in people. And Nicole, like you said, you'll make lasting friendships. None of us would have met. Paul, you're a perfect example. I found you on the P90X wall. And when I found out you were a few towns away from me, I did cartwheels over backwards just to connect with you on some level. And you're one of the greatest guys I know. And there's nothing I love doing more than going to like a Super Saturday with you, like the one we went to in Queens. You're a fun guy, And I never once stopped and said, oh, I'm going to get Paul to buy Brazil butt lift because I know he'll love it. That's the program for him. It doesn't happen that way. It's about saying to yourself, wow, this guy is a really great guy. The more I get to know him, the more I feel like there's some kind of a, connection on a level that I feel good about. I guess you guys saw me post that I've just finished reading a book called Leaders Eat Last. And that book has so much great information. And it explains that, just to use myself as an example, by me reaching out to someone like Paul, it made me feel good about myself. It released dopamines and endorphins in me. And that's part of the way my body kind of heals itself in some obscure manner, if you will. But getting back to what we said before, this is, again, something that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I mean, think about things you do that you couldn't do a while ago. Think about your hardest workout that you do every day now and you love. Reaching out to people is the same way. If you say to yourself, oh, it's going to be real tough to reach out to 5 people a day, before you know it, it'll be the easiest thing you've ever done. And you'll be reaching out to like 10 or more people, and it won't be a problem at all. Nicole, I'm going to unmute you.
Can't hear.
Oh, can you hear now?
That's better.
Oh, okay. But every time I unmute you, there's like the sound of gunshots or something.
No, Julia's coloring.
Okay. We're coming up on the end of the call. Would you like to say something in closing, and then I'll kind of end the call on that note? Or?
No, I think we covered everything. I just think, make it a goal every day, even if you write it in your planner for your power hour. 3 to 5 new people, reconnect with 3 to 5 people, and follow up with 3 to 5 people every day.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the call. It was great to see all of you.
Have a wonderful trip.
I found out that the reason why I couldn't see my picture was because I had another program open with my camera first, so I got to make sure I don't do that next time. I'm going to save this recording, and I will post it very soon. And thank you again.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Great night, and I'll catch up with you guys soon, okay?
All right, bye-bye.
Have fun.